Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for City Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Friday's What Map. Now last week we had 4 seal of approval winners. This week we haven't managed one yet. Could today's map break that pattern? There's only one way to find out. And before we crack on, I want you to click the like button. You've got 3 seconds to do that. Time's up, let's crack on with today's show. It's Rihäldyr, or something similar to that, by Yoda221. Now according to Google Translate, Rihäldyr, or Rihäldyr, or something similar, is quite probably Swedish. I have no reason to disbelieve this, and we're going to go with that. The resources I like. And down to the highways. Always start with the highways. Well, nearly always start with the highways. And we start with a perfect bridge. Very nice. Now this part of the map, Surface Painter has been used to produce kind of like a mud flats kind of feel, and actually to a degree of success. We'll look at this a little bit more in detail a bit later on across the rail there. That looks good as well. That first bridge, we'll look at that in more detail also. And then we jump across 3 suspension bridges to a decorated cloverleaf, and we don't see that many of those. I mean, we see them, but we don't see the decorated ones. Very nice. If we head off there, we go straight to the fog, and if we go that way, we get to the fog by a different route. We're going to go this way. This is the most interesting of all the routes. Across another railway and another suspension and another. Now let's say this bridge, there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, there's nothing wrong with any of them, but they do lack a little finesse. Okay, I'm not criticising the work, because actually it's a flawless bridge, that one. Here's your start square. Nothing wrong with that at all. Everything you need is there, including a rail connection, which is something you don't always get, which is nice. And we hair off up and over another. Now, something not quite perfect about this. The uprights. I think the bridge has been drawn in 2 separate directions, which has put the uprights in different. A slight kink in the entrance there as well. But it's not a bad bridge. It's just lacking a little finesse. And finesse is also lacking here with this raised highway. It's just a little, going back to the old term, lumpy bumpy. Just slightly not perfect. And to be honest with you, I'm going to say, I see this in real life, not perfect, but there's a real reason for it not to be in City Skylines. So just lacking in finesse there. Look, it's a little P stop. If you want to go for a P, you can pull in here in amongst the rocks, but if you're on the other side of the road, you can't. Okay? I'm just letting you know, you can't have a rest stop there. Right, let's move on. Oh look, we've got another P stop for the people on the right hand side, and the people on the left, nope, you still can't go, sorry. No P stop there. A slightly raised highway there, that's fine. A little bit non-finessed again. And then we move down, and would you believe it, we've got a 3rd and final P stop. Well, the guys on the other side, are we nearly there yet? Oh, I've got to go, please. I have to chuckle. Like I say, those are nice little detailing offshoots, but and you wouldn't necessarily want an intersection to jump you across just to get to that, but still nice. It'd be nice to have one on the other side of the road. Into the fog. Or is it a forest fire? We'll never know. And the rail. Now the rail's not bad down here. Look at this, straight across a perfect bridge there. And then we've got a few options here. I'm going to take the most interesting route across the map. So where you see these points and change, we could have gone a little bit of a cutting there. Now here we go. This, once again, nothing wrong with this bridge. just lacks finesse. Just lacks a little something to take it to the next level. And we're going straight on, and we'll hit another one of these once again. Nothing wrong with that, just it's a little bit disinteresting. I don't know whether it's detailing or whether it's the angle of the tunnel under the bridge. I don't know. And now this time I believe we go right. Yes, we do. And then we're off into the wilderness. And like I say, all the slopes are staying within tolerance, so it's still good rail building. Not necessarily exactly how I would want it, but you can't actually fault it that much, really. It's just slightly off being what I would call good. It's okay. I have seen way worse than this, and I've got to give it credit for being okay. Here we go. We got raised, and this, the amount of map makers that would have dropped that in. No, raised, fine, thank you very much. And off to the fog. It's asset review time. Now today we're going to have a look at slightly glitchy. I apologise. I don't know whether this is the asset or something in my map. I don't know, but it's Shoe Carnival, which is a family shoe retailer from the United States. Over 555 outlets apparently across America. It's, like I say, slight glitching in the car park at the front. I apologise. I'm guessing that is a local issue. Not seen that before, so I don't know. But it's a nice little asset. Not too much in the way of parking at the front, but then that sort of unit wouldn't have too much parking at the front. Shoe Carnival by infinitesworld. Very nice little unit. And it's the asset of the day. Right, back to Rihäldyr and the shipping routes. Very good. I mean, absolutely anywhere you want to have shipping, there is. The only place that there isn't, I would say we pull back a little bit from the coast here, is amongst these islands. But would you really want a big cargo ship going amongst these islands? Probably not. Now the river networks, there are about 3 major different routes, major different river networks, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Now this is the first one that comes up, and then it joins up here, and this is the second one. It's got the same source, but it cuts down a different route, joins up with the central river delta, if I'm kind of expecting to call it that. The banks are a little bit steep in places, and you guys will know I'm not that keen on the rugged banks, but you can see there the 2 river networks joining up at the top in the middle there. And then if we go on to the third one, which means we come back up the river delta and we go off this direction instead. And this way we're actually heading towards the wilderness and the hills and the mountains. Better, smoother banks down here, a bit of detailing there as well, under the railway. And off into the hills. Now the hills are very rugged on this map, and it's going to cause quite a lot of difficulty if you're wanting to build up there. I think the smoothing tool will come into operation. We'll go this way first. This is all one river network, and we'll look at both of them. Some nice islands in the middle of that. Then wide river. Wide. How wide do you want it? Wide and wild. Very nice indeed. And we are into proper mountains here. Shall we go left in a minute? Yeah, we'll have a look. So this is one of the sources, like a bit of a lake going on. And if we go up here, it goes up quite a way more actually. Quite a way more. And then we get up to this source, mini lake up here. Don't mind that too much. Quite a lot of water coming out of that. Possibly a bit too much, but it's still okay. If we come back down to here, we'll go up this separate source that I promised we would have a look at. This river is a little bit on the narrower side. Very muddy looking, very dirty. The whole map has got this dirty, muddy vibe. Up into the mountains here, we've got this island again. No, it's not BonBonB Island. It's not where I want my mention. We've got a little source feeder there. And then up to the fog. Okay. And then finally, we come to this final river network that comes down from the mountains. This comes up underneath the slightly wonky suspension bridges there, and the mini islands, and then up underneath this suspension bridge to this lake. Now this lake is fed by a lot of water coming down from here, a lot of water. Ziggy zaggy down the other side of this mountain until we reach this huge lake, and this is situated in the middle of a crater. I'm not massively keen on craters with lots of water in at the top of mountains, but I think that looks okay. It's unusual for me to actually like something like that. And then we'll head up here. We've got a separate feeder, not so much water coming down from here. Waterfalls here up to this little, once again, an island in the middle of the lake. 2 or 3 little feeder rivers coming down. This one here starts off from this long lock type lake. Once again, up in the mountains. It's not too bad. Once again, I can deal with that one. I'm happy with that one. This one, however, I think it's a bit silly. It's all quite high up, and I don't particularly like that start. That feed. Could have lived without that one, personally. Okay, what else do we have? Well, let's say mountains and the build plains. The mountains, like I say, are very rugged. We come down from the mountains. As we hit the build plains themselves, they're quite usable and amiable and very fertile looking. And then we hit the mud banks at the bottom at this end of the map. Once again, you can build on them very happily as well. And like I say, the whole map's got loads of build area. And the rivers add a lot of interest. The mountains are very difficult. We've got a castle. Look at that, the castle. No essential lighthouse on this map. I'm very sad now. No stars. No, that's okay. We can forgive the lack of a lighthouse. Aesthetically, I want to give this a 3. But honestly, the overall vibe is unattractive. So it's just the 2 stars there. Detailing, I also want to give this a 3. But the lack of finesse, I've got to bring it down to a 2, but honestly, it's better than that. Gameplay potential, however, I think there's a lot going for this. Can't quite give it a 5 because, like I say, the ruggedness of the mountains are taking out a huge chunk of the map, but still, 4 stars, definitely worth it. Rihäldyr by Yoda221. And that concludes that. Well, thanks for commenting, watching, liking, subscribing, and all the other giblets. Tomorrow is Saturday, so we're going to have the quirky asset, and we're going out there. We're going where no man has gone before. Is that a clue? You're going to be searching the workshop now, aren't you? Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.